to the outside. He's going to go. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Big Red. Handoff. Parenzo. Touchdown, John Marshall. Nice call.
The Ohio Valley sports leader, WTOV9, presents the best in high school football. The OVAC WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Harding Stadium, the site of tonight's WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week between Steubenville Central and the Bellaire Big Reds. I'm Bill Phillips along with John Sereni. And, John, a great game tonight, a great matchup, an undefeated Bellaire Big Reds club against once-beaten Steubenville Central team coming off of a city championship win against Big Red.
Well, you might call them the Giant Killers, and they're after it again tonight. Jack and the Beanstalk, however you want to say it, David and Goliath. Can they play that same defensive game they played last week? They're going to have to do it against a very good Bellaire team.
A lot of weapons for the Bellaire Big Reds, led by Jose Davis. How do you shut him down?
Well, I don't think you can. I think it's going to have to be a bend but don't break. I don't think you can shut him down all the way, and it's going to be that fact. Can they play that same defensive game?
We will find out in just a little while. We're going to have our opening kickoff and the starting lineups right after this. And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. We are just about ready for the opening kickoff. Steubenville Central and the Bellaire Big Reds. The Big Reds come in unbeaten. Central has lost once to Lindsley this year, and we are ready to go. Kick comes down to the 14-yard line. Across the 25 and out to the 30 on the return.
Out to the 30, by number 44.
Number 44, Matarkowski. It comes up with the return. Let's take a look at the Big Reds starting lineup for offense. Of course, led out by the fine quarterback Jose Davis, Roth, Mamie, Kindred, Taylor, and Timberlake. Those are your skill position players up front doing the blocking. It's an outstanding line, John. Adams, Weber, Myers, Bream, and Vingia. First and 10. Davis to pass. Looks outside, has a man, and it's dropped. Ben Taylor, the intended receiver, he would have had a first down at the 40-yard line and more, but just a situation where couldn't hang on to the football. Take a look at the defense. Golick, Tuttle, and Petrozzi up front for the Crusaders. The linebackers, Tomochik, Bracone, Canella, and Clark. Your defensive backs, Lewis, Bracone, and Baruch. So it'll bring up second down and 10. Taylor unable to hang on to the first pass of the game. Davis to throw again. Good protection, and he has his man across the middle for about 8 yards on the catch. Number 35, Richie Mamie.
Well, the first pass was an out pattern and wide open. That one was just quick over the middle, and he had plenty of time. That's the thing. He has all the time in the world. Good defense by the Crusaders, man right on him, but when you whistle it in like that, it's going to be complete.
Canella on the stop for the Crusaders. 3rd and 3, first possession of the game, and Davis getting some pressure, runs away from it, still has some running room, looks downfield for a man, and it is knocked down at the last second. Bracone came across and made the play, knocking away Bobby Timberlake, the intended receiver, down at the 30-yard line, and the Crusaders force him 3 and out.
Well, he got to the ball real well, got that hand in front of the receiver. The receiver was open just for a second, but he closed on the ball real well. Ball wobbled a little bit. I think Jose tried to throw it on the run and didn't really get a good spiral on it. Closed well on the ball, knocks it away. Almost had interception.
High kick that'll come down in the stands at about the 37-yard line. The Crusaders will take over there, their first possession of the game. Let's take a look at their offense tonight. The Crusaders, Claus, Ice, Bracone, Maruk, Lewis, Petrozzi, your skill position players. Bracone, Canella, Campana, and Tuttle up front. Canestrero is your center.
Great field position.
Right now, we're going to go down to the sideline for George Kellis. George?
Well, this is a big emotional test for Bellaire. John Magistro called it the toughest week of practice he's ever had after the murder that took place there a week ago. And it's had a profound impact on these kids. We'll see what happens.
Brandon Ice on first down, goes for maybe a yard. Ball may have come loose, a battle for it down on the ground, but and it was recovered by Timberlake, but they're going to give it to the Crusaders. Second down and long. We take a look at the Big Reds defense. Kinder, Sechrist, Weber, and Myers up front. Taylor, Allen, Roth, Mamie, your linebackers. Mamie, the all-time leading tackler in school history. Timberlake, Zerfus, and I couldn't. Lekanudos. I couldn't get it right in practice, John. I just can't get that one right.
There's some tough names tonight.
2nd down and 9. First possession for the Crusaders. Ice on the pitch. Out to about the 45-yard line. We'll bring it 3rd and about 6.
Well, Central first play from scrimmage, a little misdirection play, tried to counter play. This time they tried to get somebody outside. It was closed up, so he had to cut it back inside, and there he meets a wall of white jerseys. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and just about 6 yards to go.
Lawyer in the slot with Lewis. Lawyer go in motion the other way. Vingia claws the pass. Looks downfield, and it's incomplete. Almost picked off, but it goes incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down, and the Crusaders will have to punt the football away. And the Big Reds get a standing ovation from a large gathering that came up all the way from Bellaire for this game tonight.
Vingia only had one place to throw the football, and he had to whistle it in if he was going to get it complete, and it was just thrown a little too hard for the receiver. So 3 and out.
Tim Marling, Vingia claws in punt formation.
High snap, Claus handles it and gets off a fine punt. It's going to come down at about the 12, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Bellaire Big Reds will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Bellaire nothing, Central nothing.
RC Radio and TV is one of Bellaire's best-kept secrets, specializing in quality RCA, GE, and Zenith products and factory-authorized services. RC offers in-store financing, no hidden cost, and no charge for delivery. RC Radio and TV, Belmont Street in Bellaire.
WTOV9 and Fox Run Hospital are proud to recognize outstanding students at Bellaire High School. This week we salute Tiffany Starkey, Red Line co-captain in National Honor Society, Ryan Snyder, varsity football and varsity track, Lisa Houston, student council and varsity cheerleader, Sherry Keldor, 4-year member of choir and jazz ensemble, Jessica McGarry, 3-year class president and varsity and reserve mascot. WTOV9 and Fox Run Hospital salute all the students at Bellaire High School.
Back to the WTOV9 high school football game of the week. 9:22 to go, first quarter. Nothing ball game. Bellaire and Steubenville Central, and Davis back to pass again. Across the middle, Dusty Kinder, the fine tight end, can't hang on to it. It falls incomplete. 2nd down and long, and so far it's been pass.
Well, you anticipate that when you have a quarterback of his caliber. And I guess that's a pun in itself. Here's the pass, and hit him in the hands, but a little bit behind him. That's the pass that worked earlier across the middle. We'll see if they throw that out pattern again. It was wide open.
2nd and 10. Davis loses the handle. Canella there to down him, and it is a loss of about a yard. So it'll be 3rd and long for the Bellaire Big Reds. George, we've got a question for you. One of the things about Jose Davis, he always seems to have such great protection, a lot of time to throw the ball. How important is it for the Crusaders to get there and at least touch him a few times early in the game to let him know that they can get to him?
Well, I think it's very important. One of the key elements in this thing is that Bellaire has had tremendous pass protection. They've picked up blitzes. No matter what you do to him, you can't get to him.
3rd and long. Kinder, that's going to be a 1st down as Davis threads the needle, and it's about a 16-yard gain out to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Big Reds.
Steubenville Central's in a zone. They're trying to take away anything deep, but he just found a little crack in that zone, came across the seam, and Jose put the ball right on the money. Middle seems to be open in that zone. All their completed passes have been in the middle of the field.
1st and 10 from the 37 for Bellaire. Davis, and that's a slick play on the reverse, but the Crusaders, they stay at home and make the play defensively. Tomochik staying at home and making the play. They pick up about 6 on the play on the reverse to Grant Allen. And a nice play by Davis to just flip it up, and Allen takes it right out of the air coming around on the reverse. But good discipline by the Crusader defense.
No question. He did stay home, as you called it. That flip behind his back, that's a new one. but he stays right there. He's not going to let him get outside, and that was a pretty good gain, but it could have been a lot more had he committed.
Slot to the far side for the Big Reds. Handoff, and it's Mamie out to the 46-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by about a half a yard. Bring up third, and official will probably call it a yard.
Nothing really fancy there, just trying to open up the defense a little bit. Steubenville Central had some men up on the line of scrimmage, a little more than they've had, because I think they were expecting a run also. And only a 4-yard gain, third and short at the 46-yard line.
Taylor goes in motion. Davis rolls far side. Davis is going to hang on to it into the secondary, still on his feet and down at the 40-yard line of the Crusaders, and a flag comes in late, and it looks like they're going to call a penalty on Marook.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a piling on penalty that they're going to call. Very fortunate. I couldn't see who it was. One of the Crusaders was down on the ground and reached up and just grabbed his foot as he ran by him. And that's what stopped him, and then Marook's called for piling on.
Take a look at it here. Davis comes through. There's the hand that comes in, and he goes down, and, well, if they're going to call it, and if they call it like that early, they have to call it that way all throughout the game. So they want to set a tone that the officials are going to be in charge, and they're not going to let this one get out of hand. They just want to play good, clean football. It sets up 1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line at the 26, and now flags on the play again. And preliminary indication, at least from Bellaire, is that the Crusaders are going to be called for the penalty.
Well, they came across. Were they drawn? Let's see. Nope. Encroachment called, so that'll set up a 1st and 5 at the central 21-yard line.
Biggest thing you have to do against Bellaire is stay away from mental mistakes and penalties, because if you give them 1st and 5 all night long, you're going to be in for a long evening.
A big line will eat you up.
6:43 to go. First quarter of play. Mamie in motion. Davis rolls that way. Looks for Mamie, and he has it. Did he hang on? They will rule it a completion at the 11-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 11. So they'll be able to pick up the first down at the 1-yard line.
Good job of cradling the football. He caught it up over his head, cradled it back into his body as he hit the ground. Real nice, nice soft hands by the receiver.
Handoff, Mamie to the 5, and dives ahead to about the 4-yard line. Canella had a hold of his leg. He got some help from Marook, who came up and put the finishing touches on him. Also in on the tackle, number 77, Jason Golick for Steubenville Central.
Little counter play, finds a nice big hole, gets outside, and there's someone grabbing his leg, and that'll bring you down just about every time. This is where Central was real tough last week, inside their 20. Let's see.
Taylor in motion. Davis rolls far side, looks into the end zone for Taylor. He has him. Touchdown, Bellaire.
Well, that's such a threat when he rolls out like that. They had the backs all lined up on that side. There were almost 4 receivers over there flooding that side. And when he rolls out, you've got to cover him. And when you cover him, that's going to leave somebody open. And that's what happened here. He rolls out, takes a good look. There's the man right at the goal line, wide open.
They will go for 2.
There's no running back in that formation.
Davis rolls near side on the 2-point conversion, pulls it up and looks into the end zone, and he finds Taylor for the 2-point conversion. So it's Davis and Taylor for the first 8 points of the game, first on the touchdown pass, and then on the pass for the 2-point conversion. So with 5:54 to go, first quarter, Bellaire on top by 8. 8-0 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, and the Crusaders will have to come back.
Again, the same basic play, rolling out. He's got the whole field to look at. Just a little pop pass now because he's got a man open. Who do you cover? Do you come up and hit the quarterback? Do you stay back and guard against the pass? That's very difficult to cover.
Bellaire drive covered 80 yards on 9 plays.
So
80-yard touchdown drive on 9 plays for the Bellaire Big Reds. Davis to Taylor on the touchdown pass, and then Taylor hangs on for the 2-point conversion, and Bellaire on top by a score of 8-0. Right now we go down to the sideline for George Kellis. George?
Well, fellas, I think that it's fair to say that Bellaire has one of the most explosive offensive arsenals that we've ever seen in Ohio Valley football. And they're going up against the best defensive unit that they have faced so far this season in Catholic Central. There's going to be some scoring in this game. I think that it's not going to be a runaway, and it's not going to be 35, 6, and it's not going to be 12-6. There's going to be some points put on the board. Catholic Central will get their share here, too.
Lacone on the return, has some blockers, gets around the corner. One man to beat, and he is taken down at the 30-yard line. Lekanudos comes up and makes the play. The defensive back on the special teams comes up and makes the stop. And good field position for the Crusaders.
He had the one man to beat because the wall formed for him very well. He outran the first man downfield, but just one man between him and the goal line, and that's the one that brought him down.
Lacone on the handoff. Lekanudos, they just met on the kickoff, and they meet again at a yard past the original line of scrimmage. They'll give them about 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8.
Well, there wasn't much room at the point of attack that time. Bellaire just ganged up in the middle, right where the hole was supposed to be. When he gets there, you can see there's just a wall. He's trying to move the pile by running up the back, but it's not moving.
Claus back to pass, getting some pressure, gets around the corner, looks downfield, and has a man wide open. Lacone at midfield. Oh, and he stumbles over his own feet. He's down to the 41-yard line, but Claus the same way that Davis can. The good speed, that's his big weapon. Gets to the corner, puts the pressure on the defensive backs.
Again, and they on that play, they sent a man deep and took the defensive back deep, and that left that short zone open. And him rolling out that way, man comes up to guard him. A man goes deep, that leaves the center of it open, and they complete a pass for great yardage.
Come out with a trips formation on the near side. The Crusaders look to pass again. Claus down the middle, looking for Marook, gets over his head and incomplete.
Pretty good coverage that time by Bellaire. They had 3 receivers downfield. They had 4 defensive backs back there, so it was pretty good coverage. And Vingia tried to force one into his receiver, but he really wasn't open.
4:25, first quarter. 8-0. Hey, George, the Nacho Man snuck into the stadium. Does he have nachos down there on the sideline?
Yeah, he's got them stuffed inside his jacket.
2nd down and 10. Handoff. Tomochik to the 40-yard line. Pickup of about a yard. To bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and about 9 for the Crusaders.
Gee, I'm really honored to be here with the Dream Team tonight. I mean, this is something I'm going to put in my memoirs.
George, that's something new. We're the Dream Team now with the Nacho Man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the deck is stacked against poor John Sereni. We're ganging up on the guy. He's a good man. Have to put up with the 3 of us at one time ain't fair.
3rd and long for the Crusaders. Claus back to pass again, looks downfield, and this one's picked off Ben Taylor. And just too many Bellaire Big Reds in one area. The Crusaders tried to flood the zone, but Bellaire Big Reds were there defensively.
That's what I said earlier. You know, there's a lot of defensive backs around the receivers of Central, and Benji's tried to force it a couple times. This time was going to the well once too often, and it was almost intercepted by the up man, and then the deeper man does come up with it. So 1st down for Bellaire. They lead 8-0.
First and 10 for Bellaire. 3:32. Rolling clock here in the first quarter. They lead it 8-0. A little misdirection. Hand off to the first man through. That's Bobby Roth, number 30.
Number 30, Bobby Roth,
Goes
the
for
ball
about
carrier.
4 on the play, bring up 2nd down and 6. And I'll tell you what,
Tackled by
John
Tony
and George, I would
Canella.
imagine if you
Help
can
from
get
Tom
4
Clark.
yards and first down with that Bellaire offense, all those coaches are very, very happy
Pick up
because that
a
opens
4,
everything up
second
on
and
2nd and
six.
3rd down.
Sure. That's right. Pass, run, do anything here.
27.
Might get fancy with a reverse.
Davis the pass. Gets some pressure, gets around it, looks downfield for Zerfus, and I think he trapped it.
Yeah.
Jose Davis pass ball's incomplete.
Throwing a little
Number
too low.
26.
They put some pressure on him that time. And, that's really the first time that he's really had any kind of
Defended by
pressure at
Josh
all.
Bracone.
You can see he's throwing that on the
36.
dead run, and it's wobbling and it's low.
Bring up 3rd down.
I used to describe those on radio as a Mark Malone pass. Everyone knew what it was.
Wow. Davis to pass again. Has Mamie open. He'll have a first down out to the 36-yard line.
Number 35, Rich Mamie, tackled by number
Again,
66.
that pass that sort of opens up
Tony
in the center
Canella.
of the field.
Picks up a Bellaire first down.
No pressure on him, has time. There's the pass,
Ball
and
spotted
that's
on
a
the
first
Bellaire
down.
35.
They get heat on him. He's been throwing the ball astray. When he doesn't have any heat
Pick up
on
of
him
8.
and can stand there and look or roll out and look, then there's problems.
Handoff. First man through, Roth, and he's going to be close to first down yardage, and he has it out across the 45-yard line to about the 47. It'll be 1st and 10
Tackled by Golick and
for the Big
promotion.
Reds, so they're starting to move the ball on the ground as well. And I'll tell you what, the one thing about Davis, and it's a credit to his offensive
Very
line,
good for
since
another
he's been the
Bellaire
starting
first
quarterback
down.
at Bellaire, and I don't know if George will agree with me on this one.
Pick up
I
of
can't
11.
remember him ever really
First
taking
and
a
10
hard
Bellaire.
hit where
Under
he's
46.
really gotten punished. It always, you know, if they catch up with him, they're catching up with him and not getting a solid shot at the quarterback from Bellaire. Handoff again inside. This is Mamie, and he'll be close to first down yardage again across the
35,
Crusader
Rich Mamie.
45-yard line down to about the 44.
Picks up close to 10.
Billy,
Yeah.
it's one of those situations where
By
you'd be
Tony
surprised.
Canella.
He is not the fastest guy in the world. He only runs about a 4.8 or 4.9 40. But
and
he is
short
a
one.
slippery eel. In other words, he's one of those guys, you've heard the term,
Well,
got
just
eyes in the
inside
back of his
Crusader
head.
45.
You just can't get a clean shot on this kid. He's got a field awareness that's second to none that I've seen.
Davis back to pass. Uses the eyes in the front of his head to come up with a completion and a first down as he just swings it out to the back out of the backfield. That's Bobby Roth again. And the captain hauls it in for first down
That's
yardage.
completed
They're
to
really
Bobby
starting
Roth.
to use the backs and mix everybody into the offensive
Oh,
plan here in the first quarter.
Tom
They have Central on their heels right now. They
First
don't know
and
whether
10
the
Bellaire
run's
on the
coming or the
Crusader
reverse,
41.
a little flare pass, which that is, and good yardage. I mean, that's as good as any run up the middle.
First and 10 with 1:20 to go, and Davis this time's wrapped up, and he goes down, and that's our first sack for his sack this evening. And Central comes up with the first one, and that's going to be a big loss of about 8 yards. Sack for a sack. Kroger Fruit and Drug and WTOV9 for each sack reported by either team. Kroger will donate $50 to the Salvation Army, and that's our first one of the ball game.
Pressure from the backside, and the eyes in the back of his head failed him that time as 1, 2, 3, 4 Crusaders finally get in on him. But that's pressure, and that's what Steubenville Central's got to do.
Petrozzi getting the sack. Davis to pass again. Lost one down the middle, and the Crusaders can't get to it. Claus saw where he was going. Benji was on his hands and knees crawling for the football, but he couldn't quite reach it, and it falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 18 for the Bellaire Big Reds, and the Crusader defense really gets a shot in the arm from the sack.
And it's going to be more difficult for them to get the sacks as the game goes on. One of the hardest things for a defensive lineman to do is continuously rush a passer. You get very, very tired.
Davis back to pass again, and this time more pressure as he lost it outside. Taylor has it at the 30. He gets both feet in, and he should have enough for the first down.
That's that out pattern that they ran earlier that he dropped. This time he comes down with it, and it's going to be, it is a first down.
Good for a Bellaire
Just
first
comes
down.
on the pass was almost blocked,
First and 10 Bellaire on the
but
Crusader
good
30-yard
out
line.
pattern. He's wide open and only needs 1 foot in. Got them both in.
Tuttle with some good pressure, got up and did exactly what a lineman's told to do. If you can't get to the quarterback and you see him getting ready to throw, get your hands up in the air. As we have an official timeout down on the field. It's going to be a timeout called by the Steubenville Central Crusaders. 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. 8-0. It is Bellaire Big Reds on top. An 80-yard, 9-play drive that was capped by Ben Taylor. And a 2-point conversion from Davis to Taylor as well. And that makes it 8-0. Let's take a look at what comes up this weekend on WTOV9. And if you want to get up early, John, I know George will be up. 5:30. Sunday morning, the Bill Cowher Show. George never misses it, never tapes it. He's always up just to check it out because he gets a lot of inside information for when he comes on to take everyone's phone calls on News 9 Sports Sunday with the one, the only George Kellis. And Sunday at noon, George, what's going on this week? What are we going to talk about?
Well, it's one of those days where we're going to mix it up, obviously, but we've got Ohio State getting across a big hurdle, of course, this week. And, you know, I'll let you know what's going on in high school football and who made strides this weekend and who kind of slipped back. And, you know, we'll cover the whole gamut, I'm sure. But the show belongs to the viewers. You call the number, and I'll do the best I can to answer the questions.
All righty, sir. Also coming up on Sunday, we've got the Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is at 12:30. Well, it starts with the NFL pregame show on NBC, and then at 4 o'clock, the Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions. And remember, you can catch George Monday night at 11:30 with the playoff watch, along with the good doctor, John Simonson. And as George likes to say, he brings his mangy carcass with him. Davis, handoff, and it is Roth stacked up after a short game of about 2 or 3, so it'll bring up second down and about 7.
2nd and 7, and you can anticipate that he's going to throw the football here.
With help from Tony Canella.
Good crowd on hand tonight. Perfect night for a high school football game.
The Bellaire fans were here at 6 o'clock. I got here early, and that one section was completely filled with red and black.
They knew you were going to be here.
That's why.
They wanted to come up and see you. Well, right now the horn blows. It is the end of the first quarter. Good first quarter, quick one. Both teams come out firing, and right now it is 8-0 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Bellaire on top. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this.
Top best of luck to all area teams from the new M&M Hardware owners. M&M Hardware, Sunset Boulevard, Steubenville.
Did you know you can have safe, effective relief of your pain without drugs or surgery? Call Bellaire Chiropractic Office for a spinal analysis to determine the location of your spinal nerve stress.
Boom Boom's Pizza and Deli, specializing in pizzas, salads, soups, subs, specialty trays, and Hershey ice cream. For eat in or take out, plus free delivery.
And welcome back to the WTOV9 high school football game of the week. And John, the Crusader coaching staff, you've played a quarter. Arguably, Bellaire this year, considered by many perhaps the top team in the entire Ohio Valley, entire OVAC, bar none. If you're a coach for the Crusaders, what are you looking at? What are some of the adjustments you want to make after the first quarter of play?
Just got to pressure the quarterback. I mean, whatever they can do to pressure the quarterback, they have to do it. They've been playing a zone. Maybe they've got to drop off and go man-to-man and start shooting some linebackers, too. They're just not putting enough pressure on him. And as I said, you know, maybe some blitzes, maybe some stunts, maybe some games, but they've got to put more pressure on that quarterback.
Well, we're ready for the second quarter of play. Bellaire will start it with the ball at the Crusader 28-yard line. 2nd and 7. Davis, another reverse. This time they don't stay at home, but not going to go for big yards, at least not as big as they had hoped for.
Grant Allen, the ball carrier.
Grant Allen on the carry, and a little flip behind the back again from Jose Davis. I got to imagine that's a dangerous way to make a reverse.
I don't know how they let him get away with it. I mean, watch this. Behind the back pass. I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of football. I've never seen anybody do that before.
Tuttle had a shot at him there. Makes a nice run. Breaks 3 tackles before the Crusaders corral him. Close to first down yardage. 3rd and short now for the Big Reds. Taylor in motion. Davis rolls towards the Crusader bench. Little dump pass, and he has his man. I believe that's Mamie, number 35, and indeed it is, down to the 15-yard line, and it's a first down. 1st and 10 for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Well, that's all he wanted was a yard. He didn't know whether he was going to do it by running or what he was going to do. But when he sees the man open, just dumps it off to him, and that's all they wanted there was the first down. They weren't looking for a touchdown play.
1st and 10, ball on the 15.
Inside handoff. Mamie drops it, just covers it up. He's whistled down at the 15-yard line. No gain. And just a bad handoff. Mamie comes back and says it was my fault.
Well, maybe Jose's got to start behind the back with that.
He
does that a lot better than that handoff. Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11, and they're threatening at the Crusader 15-yard line.
Timberlake and Taylor split to the far side. Kinder standing on the line of scrimmage near side. Davis back to pass, looks across the middle. Taylor had a knee down at the 6-yard line. Canella gives him a shot, knocks him down, but after the completion, he'll be short of the first down by about a yard.
By Tony Canella, down at about the 5.
Again, look at the time. Stays right in the pocket. You see he caught it with the one knee on the ground, and in high school football, it plays over right there.
Ball in the 6.
Central's just doing everything they can to try to stop this passing game, and they're just not able to do it.
9:50 to go. First half of play, and the Crusaders going to take another timeout. It looked like they were going to call a timeout. They don't. They're going to switch up the defense as Taylor comes in motion. Davis. Pump fake. He's going to run for it. Dives for the goal line. Doesn't get there. He'll be short by about half a yard. But it is a first down. 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
Inside the 1-yard line.
Big Reds.
Well, that time they guarded the receivers.
Tackled by Dave Heck.
They stayed back.
And Danny Lewis.
Central did to guard the receivers.
Petrozzi almost got to him.
So he keeps the ball himself, and just dives for the end zone, comes up a yard short.
Joe Burcone making the tackle down around the ankles. 1st and goal. Mamie. Touchdown, Bellaire.
Rich Mamie for the touchdown.
That was just power football off the right side.
That's a scary combination for the Bellaire Big Reds. George has seen them quite a few times, and George, they can pass all day long, and then when they want to line it up and play smash mouth with you, they can do it with the best of them.
Well, that's what I would call this offense, is an option-oriented offense, not in the sense that we normally think, but they have more options than any team that I've seen in a long, long time in terms of what they do, and that's because of the threats that Davis possesses out there. They can run it off the pass. They set up the run with the pass.
2-point conversion. Davis looking into the end zone. Taylor, and they have it again. Same combination as the last one.
Another 2-point conversion.
16-0 now. Bellaire. Taylor has both 2-point conversions for the Bellaire Big Reds, and they lead it here in the 2nd quarter with 9:15 to go in the quarter. 16-0 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. We'll take the timeout and come back with more right after this. And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. 16-0. Bellaire Big Reds on top of the Steubenville Central Crusaders. 16-0 here at Harding Stadium. 16 plays, 77 yards, 6 minutes and 30 seconds on the touchdown drive. As Burcone takes the kickoff at the 15-yard line across the 20-25. He's out across the 40. And he is all the way out to the midfield, so a fine return as Burcone gets it out to the 49-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 48, officially 1st and 10. And that's got to help the spirits of the Steubenville Central Crusaders.
Well, he put on great acceleration right here. Look at this. Just puts on some acceleration, and he gets outside, and good run back.
Fellas, the Crusaders are going to have to establish a running game here. You're not going to be able to play the kind of game where you just try to match Bellaire's passing attack. That's not going to work. They've got to run it.
Brandon Ice.
Brendan Ice carries around the right
side. In the line, goes for about a yard. He had a good game last week against Steubenville Big Red.
You asked me how you defend against this team, and one of the ways to defend is what George brought up, and that's to take some time off the clock and score, and don't let Jose and company get out there on the field. That's another way to defend against it.
Scary thing about it, the one thing that gets lost in the shuffle is that Bellaire has a great defense. Claus to pass. Down the middle for Lawyer. It's knocked away. Timberlake coming in and tips it away. It falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 9.
Well, he had him open for an instant, and he tried to rifle it into him, but the defense was there. Just for an instant has him open. That pass might have floated on him a little bit because they closed very well on it. Well, they go 3 and out here. It's
make it tough on the defense.
It is, because they're right back on the field. They just went through a long drive, and they're going to be back out there.
Claus rolls, pressure, looks to get it to Ice. Oh, and in and out of his hands. He had the first down. He would have been inside the 40-yard line, but he can't hang on. It goes incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Crusaders will have to kick it away. Claus lofted it in there nicely. Ice just couldn't hang on.
Well, it's this thing that happens in college, in the pros. He wants to run with it before he catches it. Turned his head a little bit, and that's just enough. But they do it in all areas of the game.
Claus will do the punting. Benji Claus, also the quarterback. 4th and 9. A low line drive kick. Bounces at the 25. Fielded at the 18-yard line, and that's exactly where it's going to stop.
Marling returns the ball.
The 18-yard line on the return. Timmy Marling.
Tackled down at about the 17.
16-0 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Bellaire on top. First score came courtesy of Jose Davis to Ben Taylor on a touchdown pass, an 80-yard 9-play drive. 8-0. Taylor catches a 2-point conversion. Second drive, 77 yards, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Rich Mamie goes in from a yard out. 16-0 after Davis hits Taylor on the 2-point conversion. That's where we stand with 8:10 to go in the first half of play. The Big Reds and the Crusaders tonight at Harding Stadium, the game of the week. Handoff. Roth breaks out of the pile for an instant. Goes for about 3 more.
Boy, they had him wrapped up. I mean, they had the play stopped absolutely dead, but no one wrapped him up. And he just bounces to the outside and picks up yardage where he should have been stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Pickup of 3.
Once he hit it right into a pile.
21.
And there's 3 Crusaders there, but no one wraps him up, and he just rolls out of there and picks up yardage.
Davis to throw again. This time incomplete. Got a little pressure from Canella. Petrozzi tried to get him from the backside. Petrozzi a little bit shaken up on the play. He limps back to the defensive huddle. Taylor, the intended receiver, goes incomplete.
When they have him moving, he can't throw the ball nearly as well as when he's set. I mean, that's true of any quarterback, and when he's had the pressure, that's when he's not been able to complete it. So that's the secret, but to be able to keep doing it is going to be tough.
Petrozzi goes off the field. He's banged up one of his legs a little bit as he limped off. Davis back to pass on 3rd down. Looks across the middle for Kinder. Has it, hauls it in, and first down at the 31-yard line. I'll tell you what, Kinder's a player that has really impressed me. He's got a big-time body in terms of a kid that may be a prospect to go to the next level. 6'3", 215, playing tight end, good hands, good speed.
Well, of course, Jose gets a lot of press, but people have told me they think Kinder's one of the best athletes on the team.
Mamie into the secondary, dancing around, and he's taken down from behind.
Mamie, the ball carrier.
He is short of the first down by about a yard on the tackle. It was Bracone, Joe Bracone, number 51 for the Crusaders.
Just hand off right up the middle, and there's a big hole. He's into the secondary before you know it, and then he's tough to bring down. Somebody had to hit him from behind. So many weapons, as George said earlier, and I just don't know what you do to stop it.
Handoff, Roth, he's out to midfield. Shot into the secondary quickly, and he's all the way out to the midfield stripe and into Crusader territory at the 49.
Across midfield.
And he's out across midfield.
Another Bellaire first down.
Good misdirection here. Double fake in the backfield.
Pickup of 9.
And
first and 10 Bellaire.
He's a load.
Tomochik makes a play. Handoff, Roth again.
The counter play that time.
Number 30, Bobby
They're
Roth.
mixing their plays so well. Now,
Tripped up by Vingia.
you're anticipating pass, and now here they've run
Pick up of 8.
consecutive plays.
Timeout called by the Crusaders. They're going to talk things over defensively, try to figure out what they have to do to stop this high potent Bellaire Big Reds offense as they go over and talk to their head coach John Magistro. And we've got a great lineup. It seems like it never stops. The WTOV9 lineup week in, week out is outstanding. And next week, a couple of games for you. Brook and Wheeling Park. That game set for an 11:45 start following Sports Friday. And that is the first game of the week, Brook and Wheeling Park. And then our second game of the week, it's Catholic Central and Indian Creek. You want to talk about a string of 3 weeks for one high school football team. The Crusaders, they played their arch rival in the city championship game, Steubenville Big Red. They win that one 6-0. They turn around and you think, oh, we've got to celebrate a little bit, relax. That was a great win. Well, you turn around and you got to face Bellaire Big Reds next week. Well, Indian Creek's undefeated, and they will face them next week. So it's 3 teams that they will meet, and all of those teams have been undefeated coming in, and all 3 of those teams are some of the top teams this year in the Ohio Valley.
That's when the coach hangs the schedule maker. You know, what are you trying to do to me? That Brook Wheeling Park game should be a good game. I've seen both of those teams play, and they match up very well.
Well, Wheeling Park, a team that has impressed me, a team that has been able to overcome adversity all season long. Seems like beginning of the year, somebody was hurt each week, and now they're finally getting everyone healthy, and they're starting to get on a little bit of a roll. Davis to pass again. Canella giving him some pressure. They get a shot on him. It goes incomplete. Dusty Kinder, the intended receiver. And that was the first pretty good hit that Mr. Davis has had all night.
Well, he waited to throw that, and in waiting to throw it, he allowed himself to get hit. Watch this. You don't see it, but pass thrown high. Again, when there's pressure, Central has a little more success stopping him.
3rd and short again. 3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. Taylor goes in motion. Davis rolling. Tuttle coming from the backside, not going to get there. Davis has the first down. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. And it'll be enough for a first down. And some of the Bellaire Big Reds looking for a late hit. Not called.
Well, that was close to a flag, but probably a good no call. He looks like he's going to throw. He sees that he's got the yard and some more. And
we're looking for a clip right there. Coach Farrar from Steubenville Central, right before Davis went out of bounds, it looked like a Big Reds player may have gotten a Crusader in the back, and he wanted a flag. No call. 5:52 to go. First half of play. 16-0 Bellaire. Mamie on the handoff inside, and Bracone hangs onto the right leg and drags him down at the 25-yard line. A pickup of about 7 on first down will bring up 2nd and 3.
Well, they're trapping pretty good right now. Watch this trap.
7 on the play.
Man comes in.
2nd and 3.
The hole is there.
Ball on the Crusader 25.
It's very difficult to tell a high school kid when a hole opens up, don't run into it because they're going to trap you. He sees that hole. He wants to get back there and get the quarterback.
Handoff, Roth. Rook came up and made the play. He's out across the 20-yard line, has the first down. It'll be first and 10 from the 18-yard line.
Well, Bellaire certainly is having their way with Central right now. They certainly are, and as Central starts to put some pressure on the quarterback, they start the running game again. And then as soon as Central set back and get ready for the run, here he comes rolling out to throw the football. Really have the Central defense confused.
Timberlake near side. Taylor to the far side. Davis to pass. They have him on the run. Petrozzi trying to track him down. Canella also in on the chase. Davis finally unloads, and he has Mamie open to the 5, and he's down close to the goal line. He'll be short by about a yard, but I'll tell you what, that's what makes Jose Davis so dangerous. He has the escapability clause in his arsenal.
It's like Cunningham of the Eagles about three seasons ago. I mean, he had to run probably 60 yards on this play, back and forth, but he's always looking. That's the thing about him, is he's not looking at the defense. He's looking for an opening. And there's the pass. There's the receiver wide open.
Handoff, second man through, no signal yet from the officials. Taylor wanted to play official there for a moment, called a touchdown, but no touchdown call. Looks like he's going to be short by about the length of the football. Mamie was the carrier on the play right in the middle of the line. Clock rolling, 4:15 to go in the first half.
Second and goal.
When they get down here, power football, or do they roll them out? Well, with
I
that,
think they're going to give it to Mamie.
Yeah, with that eye, they usually don't roll out from that. Here's the
quick pitch, Mamie, and I'll tell you what.
Rich Mamie, the ball carrier.
That was good defense.
Tomochik actually got blocked into the ball carrier and forced him back inside, and the Crusaders were able to scrape into the hole and finish him off.
That was good defense. They wouldn't let him get outside.
Third and goal on the 1 yard
block
line.
actually
right.
Into the runner.
And cut him back inside, and
then Canella cleans up.
Absolutely.
Well, forces him back a yard. Now what do? You're a yard away from the goal line. They throw or they run.
This is the
throw.
This is the rollout formation.
Here comes Taylor in motion. Davis rolls near side, getting some pressure. Gets around the corner, looks to run it in, and throws it with the left hand. Touchdown. An unbelievable play by Jose Davis.
That's for sure. That's hard to believe. I mean, that one. Boy, there's one for the highlight.
I'll tell you what.
That's the highlight film.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If I wasn't here to see it, I wouldn't believe it. He was ready to go down, and all of a sudden he throws it with the left hand.
Should have thrown it behind his back. I mean, why not? Here he comes. Watch this now. You think he's going to run it? Absolutely. He's still looking, though. Watch those eyes. Now watch the left hand. Boom. Touchdown.
Jeez. Taylor has his second touchdown of the night. Davis rolls again. Looks to the corner of the end zone. Has a man. Dusty Kinder. 2-point conversion is good. It's 24-0. Bellaire on top. 3:13 to go. First half of play. The Crusaders are absolutely shell-shocked.
Left hand, right hand, behind the back. I've seen him do it all now. Jose Davis.
Where's George? He's got to have a comment. George, I don't know. We're speechless up here. George, we're speechless up here. What do you think?
On, fellas?
Yeah,
you are.
There we go. All right. You know, I mentioned earlier that it's an option-oriented thing. There are always 3 or 4 options open to Jose Davis on every play, and the thing that even astounds his own coaching staff is his ability to make the right decision. In other words, when they send 3 or 4 or 5 receivers out there, most often 2 or 3 of them are open. They get the maximum out of every play. If the guy the furthest downfield is wide open, he seems to always throw it to that guy. If it is the guy in the middle of the zone, he throws it there. If he has to run the football, he does that. He just makes the right decisions all the time. And don't undersell this offensive line. It does an unbelievable job for John Magistro.
Oh, it does a great job, but George, you can't tell me one of the options is to throw it with your left hand when you have 3 guys on you.
I told you he's got unlimited options.
Unbelievable.
Well, he's throwing it with his right hand. He's throwing it with his left hand.
He's going to throw it with his foot.
Well, no, and he did it behind the back job. Okay, I don't know what else there is, but I've seen things here that I've not seen in 40 years of broadcasting. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, my main man, John Henrietta from the Herald Star, last week gave me all the best statistics of the week with the Crusaders and Big Red. He picks up where he left off. He's like the Jose Davis of journalists around the valley. I mean, he's great stats. 14 plays, 82 yards, 501. He gives me everything I need. He's too good to me. Claus. Going to keep it, gets around, breaks some tackles out across the 45-yard line and down to about the 48. And, Crusaders right now looking for anything positive because their defense is just on its heels, reeling right now, and the offense really needs, as you said before, to make a big drive.
This is one of the best offensive plays of the night for Steubenville Central so far. He almost slipped and fell, but then he accelerates through a little hole and runs over a man before he's brought down. That's a first down.
Claus, play action pass. Rolling, looks downfield for Lewis, and it's almost picked off.
Claus pass falls incomplete.
Vingia again tried to force that ball in there because the man was well covered, but
Defended by
fortunate that it was dropped. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go at the 47-yard line. Vingia rolling out to his left, looking back. That's a hard throw to make. You can see the man was well covered. The other thing about it is, and to a quarterback it may look like they're open, but these kids in that defensive secondary for Bellaire close very quickly on the football.
2nd down and 10. Handoff to Ice straight ahead. He goes for about 3.5, 4 yards on the play. We'll call it 3rd and 6 for the Crusaders.
Pick up a 4.
That's what's tough when you have an incompleted pass on 1st down. Now you really you have 2 downs to pick up 10 yards. Makes it difficult.
It's like the Canadian football league.
That's right.
3rd and 7.
That's why they've gotten rid of all the running backs in Canada. Just throw it with only a few downs to go. Claus to pass again. Getting some pressure. Down the middle late. Lewis can't get there. It goes incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down from midfield. And they will send on the punting unit, will the Crusaders. I want to remind everybody coming up at halftime as I look down on the sideline. Bellaire Big Red's marching band getting ready to put on their halftime show. And the Marching Crusaders will also be featured at halftime. So a lot of great entertainment coming up at halftime of this ball game. And I'll tell you what, and all the coaches will say it, and it proves out more often that high school football games are played in 2 halves. Right now, the Crusaders are looking for answers.
Timberlake
2nd half. Roles may be reversed.
Well, they've got to figure out a way to get the pressure on the quarterback. I know you're tired of hearing me say that, but that's going to be the secret. I'll tell you.
Short punt, and that is not going to help. Benji Claus punting, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be spotted at about the 39-yard line of Bellaire. We're going to take a timeout. 24-0 in the 2nd quarter play on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Back right after this.
WTOV9 and Fox Run Hospital recognize outstanding students at Steubenville Catholic Central High School. This week we salute Evan Skirty, National Honor Society and Varsity Golf. Jamie Miller, National Honor Society and Who's Who among American high school students. Eder Canistrero, National Honor Society and Varsity Golf. Kim Eiselman, Senior Class President and National Honor Society. Benji Klaus, Varsity Football and National Honor Society. WTOV9 and Fox Run Hospital salute all the students at Steubenville Catholic Central High School.
And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. You know, it's the Gardeners are in the press box. I'll explain that in a moment. Okay. Davis to the outside for Taylor, and it falls incomplete. Good coverage from Danny Lewis. The ball was still right on the money. And I turned around, saw a reflection, and this pretty young lady was in the reflection of the glass, and I thought, that looks like Lisa Kick, and I turned around.
I mean, I really feel fantastic. The dream team and Lisa. I mean, what am I doing here?
I'll tell you what, Lisa's here. She brings along her husband, Steve Gardner, of course, one of the assistant coaches of the Wheeling Park football team, a team that you like the way they're playing. They're going to be on the Game of the Week next week with Brooks, so I don't know. Everybody's here tonight.
I know.
Where's Jim Forbes?
Where's McCoy?
Davis back to pass. Looks downfield, has Mamie wide open at the 40-yard line, and he'll be forced out of bounds at the 36. That's another 1st down for Bellaire with 1:51 to go. John, they look like they might tack another one up.
Split the zone again. He had a man in front of him, a man behind him, and the quarterback just put the ball right on the money in between the zone. I mean, it's something to see.
The one question I have for Lisa is the last time there was a halftime of a game, he proposed. I mean, are we going to have any crazy announcements tonight? Well, they guarantee nothing going on. It's going to be nice, relaxing halftime. Just going to enjoy the band, maybe get a refreshment and a hot dog. Forbes will probably run out on the field and do something. I don't know. 1:51 to go. Clock stop. 1st and 10. Davis rolling out again. Has Roth open, he'll be close to another 1st down, and Racone on the tackle, Joe Racone. He'll be short of the 1st down by about a football, or he may have it. I don't know. Maybe the nose of the football inches up there. We'll take another look at it, John, here on the replay.
Timeout.
Well, good catch, and Central is staying in that zone, and they're just splitting the seams and running down and out against that zone. I think they're going to have to eventually go to a man-to-man.
George Kellis, 1:30 to go 1st half, and Bellaire on the verge of maybe stuffing another one in the end zone.
Bill, all of this is a direct result of Central's inability to establish a running game. If they had been able to do that, they would have taken time off the clock, and they'd already be in the locker room talking about, you know, how to get right back in this thing. But if you don't run the football against Bellaire and you are throwing incomplete passes, it keeps stopping the clock. That extends the game, and that puts that offense back out on the field that much more. And if you put them out there, you're just not going to be able to stop them enough times to get regrouped. And, you know, right now, it's one of those things where it's kind of like the dam is broke, and here comes the rushing waters.
Well, I think the big goal, the immediate goal right now for the Crusaders is to come up big here defensively. Do whatever you can do to just keep them out of the end zone. It's 24-0. It looks awful on the scoreboard, but that's really just 3 big plays. And the Crusaders have that capability to make 3 big plays in a half. But they have to keep them out. You get down another one, and you're really going to fight an uphill battle. And it's already a tough enough battle as it is. 24-0. 1:30 to go, first half. 2nd down and 1 for a first if Bellaire can get it. Davis rolls near side, sets up, plenty of time, looks down the middle, incomplete.
Threw that one just a little too far. Had the man cutting into the end zone, tried to lead him, and threw it a little too far.
Well, the problem was that's Grant Allen. He's used to taking the pass behind the back.
Yeah.
He hasn't taken any regular passes, just the reverse.
I don't think he'd throw it that far behind his back, but
Grant Allen.
Sonny Jurgensen used to do that.
but
You
behind
see the
back.
old NFL films, and he'd throw him behind the back. He'd throw the ball about 40 yards behind his back. Spiral. Probably threw it better than he did overhand. Well, no, he's a Hall of Famer. I got to take that one back.
Yeah. Used to wet his fingers a lot, too.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. This is the rollout formation.
Here comes Taylor. They should roll near side if they stay consistent. They roll near side. Flag down on the play, and so is Davis. Canella comes from behind and stops him at the 35-yard line. We have a flag back on the other side of the field. Check that out, see what happened.
I think Bellaire jumped too quickly.
Tackled by Heck.
Yep. Had a man in motion in the backfield. That time the defenders covered the receivers, and even though he was looking everywhere to throw the football, he couldn't get rid of it.
March off 5.
It'll be 3rd and a little longer, but 2 men. See, you were talking about Canadian football, and they put 2 men in motion.
Yeah. Can't do that. Unless you're north of the border.
Illegal shift against Bellaire.
3rd and 6. A minute 15 on a running clock here in the first half.
Big play for the Crusader defense, trying to do anything to get into halftime without any more damage. Davis dumps it off to Taylor, and he'll be stood up right in front of the marker. We'll have to wait and see where they spot this one, but a great play. Danny Lewis, number 82, came up and just stood him up right away. And I think he's going to be short by about a yard.
Tackled by Danny Lewis.
And we have a timeout down on the field. And he may have, I thought he was a little bit closer than that, but they spot him back a good full yard from the first down.
Timeout, Bellaire.
He really got hit after he caught this football. He looks the ball right into his arms, but when he turns around, bang. And yeah, he couldn't drive for that extra yard. So Central with a 4th and 1, and with 51 seconds, you know certainly that Bellaire's going for the first down. If nothing else, roll him out and throw the 1-yard pass. Yeah. They have that one too. That's the left-handed one.
The left. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't believe if I had.
I believe me. I'm taping this myself, and I'm going to keep that play because I want to tell people, and they won't believe me.
I'll tell you what. Monday nights at 5 o'clock on News 9 at 5 with Jim Forbes and the lady behind me, Lisa Kick. It's the plays of the week.
That's
Friday night or Monday nights at 5 o'clock. Well, our new show.
If there are better ones than that one.
Well, we may just run that one over and over again. 4th and 1. If Taylor comes in motion, look for him to roll near side. He does. Here comes Davis. Quick look to the outside for Taylor, and he will have the first down across the 25 down to about the 23.
Complete to Taylor.
Well, right now, we're going to take a timeout. Our score, 24-0 on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. Welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard, Bellaire 24-0. Why do you see Benji Claus on your screen? Because he's a quarterback of the Crusaders, and he has just taken over at quarterback because the defense got the ball back while we were away. An interception by Benji Claus. We take a look at the replay. John picked it off at the 1-yard line. Yes. You were looking for Kinder.
Yeah, he was looking for him, and he threw it up, and look at it flutter. And that was the problem. And here comes Benji Claus with it, and he almost broke this for what I thought was going to be a touchdown. Here goes
he lets it fly down the field. No flutter there, and it's 3 Big Reds against Bracone, and it's knocked down incomplete at the 30-yard line of Bellaire with 21 seconds to go. But a nice defensive play by the Crusaders. They keep the Bellaire Big Reds out of the end zone. It looks like they may get in 24-0, and still a whole half to go.
That's the thing you were looking for, was to, you know, that they had to do was stop it. They go up 32-0. Yep. I mean, the locker room is very glum as it is, and it would be even worse, be dismal. But the interception, you know, and if they can even move the ball here, get it downfield, I think that sends them in with a little bit of hope.
I think what they try to do, as we've talked about, establish that running game in the second half, maybe some shorter passes as they look to set up the screen here to Ice. The fullback has it across the 35-40, gets a block out to midfield, and that's where the Crusaders will have it with 11 seconds to go. First and 10 with 11 seconds to go at midfield, and they are ready to line up and put the ball back in play immediately.
Pickup of 19.
Yeah, the clock stops until they get the chain set, and then the referee starts the clock, and
Claus
he just
grounds
it. Stops the clock with 8 ticks left in the first half.
And Claus has the arm to get it there.
Benji Claus grounds the ball, makes it second.
Well, let's see if Claus and company can move it just a little bit further. They up to the line of scrimmage. This will be a deep one.
Bracone comes in motion near side. 8 seconds to go. Claus, he's going to keep on the bootleg. Cuts it back into the middle of the field to have the first down. Clock stops with 2 seconds to go. Or it should have stopped with 2 seconds to go. It stops with 1 second. And do the Crusaders have any timeouts? It's a first down.
There is a timeout.
Crusaders do have a timeout left, so they have it down to the 40-yard line, and they might be able to hang one up here in the end zone.
Well, he surprised me, and I think he surprised Bellaire a little bit. Rolling out to his left, he doesn't even look to throw the football. This is a run all the way, cuts it upfield, and gets tackled. And as soon as he's on the ground, look at that tee he's making. Timeout. Heads-up play by the quarterback. He knew that it was close to time being out, but he's got a chance for one more play. And
I'll tell you what, if they could get one in the end zone.
Again, I said, even if they move the ball at, you know, right at the end of the half, that sends them in with something positive. Yeah, they're down 24-0, but hey, guys, we took that ball, we moved it down the field, we can do that in the second half. And I think that's, you know, that's something positive for him to go in with. A touchdown would be very positive.
That would be great.
Be very positive.
Well, 1 second to go in the first half. Bellaire on top, 24-0. Crusaders first and goal, basically, from the 39-yard line of Bellaire. Claus back to pass. Has plenty of time. Looks down the side, near side, looking for Marook. And it is out of bounds and incomplete. That's the way the half play. 24-0 after one half of play here at Harding Stadium. The Bellaire Big Reds on top. And they have looked impressive in the first half of play. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the Battle of the Bands, Bellaire and Steubenville Central. 24-0 at halftime on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. The Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard after one half of play. Bellaire 24, Catholic Central nothing. Right now we go down to the Bellaire Big Reds marching band. And the Battle of the Bands, of course, is sponsored, as always, by CA House Music. And right now the battle begins. Right now, we need to take a timeout. That's the Bellaire Big Reds Marching Band. Up next, after this timeout, the Crusader Marching Band. And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. At half, it's the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard reading this way. Bellaire 24, Catholic Central nothing. Right now, let's go down to the field for our Battle of the Bands. Right now on the field, it's the Marching Crusaders.
The Royalette dance line is featured as the Crusader Band shakes things up with the Latin rhythms of La Bamba. We conclude tonight's performance with Bill Moffat's exciting arrangement of the ever-popular Can Can.
line coming soon.
And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. It is the third quarter of play, 24-0. And the Crusaders, John, will get the ball first. And this, I would imagine, has to be one of the biggest moments in the game for them if they want to get back in it down 24-0.
They need to get the ball in good field position on this kickoff, and then they've got to move the football.
End over end kick, drives Bracone back to about the 10-yard line. Across the 15, 20, 25. Out to the 30, 33-yard line.
Number 25, Josh Bracone returns the ball for the
Well, they're
Crusaders.
67 yards away from where they want to be. Now, let's see. We've talked about, and George has talked about the fact that they've got to establish a running game.
Returns the ball out to the
I think they gave up on it a little too early in the first half. Let's see if they come out with the running game. Benji Claus picked up some great yardage running around in on a fake pass. Let's see how they come out in this second half.
Well, in the first half, only 4 first downs for the Crusaders, 35 yards rushing, 46 passing, and no points on the board. And Bracone on first down, good run. Out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Number 25, Josh Bracone runs the ball around the left
exactly
side.
what happens there. And
there is a flag on the play.
Again, courtesy of the one and only John Henrietto of the Herald
Tackled by
Star.
Roth and Timberlake.
I'm just going to bring him to every game from now on.
Here's the little run. Let's see if we can see anything in the back. I couldn't see where that flag was, but a good run. Puts his head down, barrels over people, and a good run, but it's like it's going to be nullified.
A block below the knees was the indication, and so wait and see exactly where they're going to spot the football, whether or not Bellaire is going to want to take it.
Well, they took it. They're bringing the ball back from where it was run to, and that'll be 15 yards.
You're going to mark it up. Oh.
Blocking below the waist against the Crusaders.
Ball spotted all the way back to the 18-yard line.
Took it from the point of the foul.
First and 25.
First and 25.
I'll tell you what, if you're a Crusader fan, you're scratching yourself on the head and you're thinking, first down, first drive of the second half, okay, we pick up about 8 yards, we're in business. And then you get the penalty. Blocking below the waist. It brings up first and 25. So the Crusaders in a hole down 24-0. First and 25 after the penalty. Claus on the option, has some running room, gets a block on the corner. He's at the 40-yard line and out across the 45, 50-yard line and out to midfield. And a big play from Benji Claus, and he got some great blocking out in front as he got around the corner.
Well, this time he put Bellaire in the situation that Steubenville Central's been in all night. Who do you go after? Here comes Claus around the corner. The man commits to the pitch man, so he gets around him, gets a good block there. And now it's just a matter of speed versus speed, and they catch up with Claus, but he's able to keep going and pick up great yardage.
Tuttle and Lewis with some fine blocks for the Crusaders to spring Claus. Handoff, Bracone on his feet, and all of a sudden, the Crusader faithful starting to get into it, and the running game starting to click a little bit. And you never know what can happen. Football's played in 2 halves. That's what Coach Walensky and Coach Fleming tell me every week. It's played in 2 halves, and they're usually right.
This is just some power football here, and a big hole opens up. He eludes one tackler, puts his head down, and drives for good yardage.
Second down and 3. Handoff, Ice. He's got the first down into the secondary down to the 35-yard line.
Well, George Kellis called for it. I spoke about it earlier, too, and this is what Central has to do, because guess what? Right now, they're not worried about the rollout pass by Bellaire, not when you're running the football like that.
I think one of the things Coach Farrar probably went in the locker room and said, guys, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. We got to come out and win the second half, and that's the game plan right now would be to win the second half, and they're going to try to do it on the ground. Option. Claus looks for a running lane, not going to find one. He'll be taken down at about the line of scrimmage.
Claus keeps around the right side.
Good defense that time. They bottled Claus up. He did have his pitch man back there, but by the time he was able to pitch the ball back, he had 2 men on him.
Brian Sechrist making the stop, number 51, and some of the Kellis crazies and some young ones, a lot of ladies getting in there.
Well, now, those weren't really crazies. You understand?
No.
They were dressed nicely. Those were Philip's finest.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, George, what do you think about that? Philip's finest. I don't know.
You're the normal one amongst us.
Bracone takes the swing pass and a great play by Dusty Kinder as he comes up and makes the stop, and then he's going to chirp about it a little bit to the Crusaders and let them know who made the play, and he did make a fine play. About a 6-yard loss will bring him 3rd and long for the Crusaders.
Well, it's a little swing and trying to set up a little swing screen pass over here on the left side. He's got some blocking in front of him, but Bellaire doesn't commit to the quarterback, and they covered that very well, and there's a big loss on the play.
Ball on the Bellaire
3rd and 16. Clock 9:10 to go, 3rd quarter. Ice and Bracone in the backfield. Lewis and Marook split to both sides. Play action, quarterback draw, and it's not going to go for much. Bellaire sniffs it out and stuffs it on the bottom of the pile. Big number 68, Josh Weber, the captain, making the play. Josh, a good-sized senior, 6 foot, 235, and laid out and wrapped up Claus's legs and took him down. There's a look at the head coach for the Crusaders, Coach Farrar, as he tries to figure out what he needs to do here on 4th down. And, well, he's decided that what he needs to do is punt the football away.
Well, he's going to
try to pin Bellaire back.
Try and stop him deep.
Punt formation.
Low floating kick taken at the 12-yard line, and the hole opens up, and on his feet, this one could turn into a foot race down the sideline for the Bellaire Big Reds. Number 20 on the return, Timmy Marling, all the way inside Crusader territory at the 35-yard line. And he got a little bit of a seam, and he was gone down the sideline.
Well, he eludes the first 5 men, and there he breaks the tackle, comes down the field. There's only one man he has to get by, and he does a good move here, uses a blocker, but he gets caught from behind.
So the Big Reds with a big opportunity here, up 24-0. They have the ball on the Crusader 35-yard line.
Just what Central didn't want.
Fake the reverse this time. Davis sets up, looks down the middle for Kinder. He has it on his feet to the 15-yard line. Still on his feet, dragging tacklers before he's shoved back at the 15 and stopped. But it's another first down for the Bellaire Big Reds, and that time they faked the reverse and they worked the pass to perfection.
He faked it behind his back. Watch his fake. Really beautiful. Fakes it behind his back, draws it back, looks downfield. Man is open, cutting across the middle. And now it's a matter of power.
Pickup of 22.
22-yard gain.
All right, fellas, I don't mean to make any excuses at all for the Crusaders, but I've noticed on the sideline that there is a lack of emotion over here, and I talked to some members of the staff. They just cannot seem to get themselves mentally into this thing after the big win against Big Red last week. That's what happens. A lot of times you play your rival, and it's kind of like the Super Bowl, and then the cake goes flat on you the following week. If you don't come out full tilt against a team with this kind of talent, you're really going to have problems.
Handoff, Roth inside. He's down close to the 5-yard line. He'll be close to another first down. The Big Reds had 17 first downs in the first half, 113 yards rushing, 156 yards passing, so great balance, plus the 24 points. They picked up their 18th on that pass to Kinder, and they're looking for the 19th right here. And the stats, again, courtesy of John Enriado, the Steubenville Herald-Star.
Well, you know, I was there for John Enriado's first football game as a Cub reporter.
A Cub reporter?
Yes, he was.
I can't imagine John Enriado was a Cub reporter.
Yes, he was. His very first game.
3rd and short. And we have flags all over the place, and
Central jumped
A
offside.
little bit of a mistake.
Well, you know, the second half started the way Central wanted it to. They moved the ball down the field, got into a situation, 3rd and long, couldn't pick up the first down. Going to punt it, get it down into the, there you can see Central jumping offside. They get into that neutral zone, and that's half the distance penalty.
3-yard line.
Someone turned the lights on in the press box. Davis rolls near side, pulls up, looks in the middle, takes a shot, lost it in the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Jose Davis pass falls incomplete.
Intended receiver, Taylor, he already has a few touchdowns on the evening.
He took a pretty good hit after he threw that football. He waited and waited and waited.
Defended by Paul Marook.
And he did take a good shot. Here it is. Bang, you can see he gets hit. That's just throwing up for grabs, hoping that well, it hit him right in the hands.
Well, Taylor goes 6'2", 185. He got up pretty good, so using that size. Quick pitch. Mamie to the corner. Won't get there.
Mamie.
Lewis comes up, gets some help from
Lewis and Timocek.
Ball spotted at the 4-yard line.
Central hasn't given up. I mean, there's some good defensive plays there.
That's the one thing you can count on week in, week out. The Crusaders are not going to give up. They might get beaten up badly tonight, but they won't give up. There's no quit in this Crusader football team. Too much pride down there. 3rd and goal to go from the 4. Third quarter play, 24-0 Bellaire. Davis rolls far side. Canella forcing him into the corner. Petrozzi, a great play as he takes him down from behind.
Jose Davis keeps around the left side.
Boy, he looked like he was going to get outside and get into that end zone, but they caught up with him and dragged him down.
Tackled by
they had rip-away jerseys. It'd have been into the end zone.
No gain on the play.
He looks, doesn't see anyone open. Now watch the acceleration. He still sees no one. Now he's going to try to get into the corner of the end zone. He can't do it. Good defensive play. They're playing some tough defense. This was the defense that played last week.
Yep. 4:40 to go in the third quarter.
Roll out right.
In motion. Davis rolls that way. Backside pressure. Petrozzi again, and he gets him. This one goes incomplete. And a nice play by Davis to get it away, but Petrozzi comes up with a big series defensively, and the defensive end gets the job done.
You can see him rolling out here to his right. He doesn't see anything there. Now he wants to go back the other way. Uh-oh, there's somebody after me. And he tries to lob it into the end zone, but the Crusaders hold. Now, will this be the spark?
That'll better be a big one. 96 yards away. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders.
Just trying to get a little room as they come out of the
Jason Geary on the carry.
Come out of the end zone across the 5-yard line out to about the 7 or 8. Just trying to get a little room. The clock's running though. Half the third quarter's gone.
It's been a relatively quick ball game. Danny Lewis checks out. Number 82. Lawyer checks in for the Crusaders. 2nd and about 6. Lost the pass. Quick look to the outside from Marook. He has the first down. He's out close to the 20-yard line. So a short pass again. Look outside. Marook makes a nice move, and he picks up the first down.
By Grant Allen.
Well, Bill, you mentioned that they were going deep, and they needed to throw some shorter passes. Here's one right here. Benji Claus really puts the mustard on the ball there. And good catch, good run, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. You might not think that's important in the third quarter, but when you're down 24-0, you need time up on the clock.
First and 10 from the 17-yard line. Hand off to Ice across the 20-yard line out to about the 40. The lunges forward. Ben Taylor and on the tackle along with Timberlake.
Tackle by Taylor.
Roth also getting up off the bottom of the pile. So a number of big Reds getting in the football.
But he picked up great yardage, 7 yards on that, and you know, if Central has the time to keep a running game like this going, they may do something in this game.
Brent Ferrani checks in with the play for the Crusaders. 2nd down and 3. Good run pass option time here for the Crusaders and Benji Claus, their quarterback. Quick pitch, Ice looks to get to the corner. Mamie shoots the gap and makes the play behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe got out for about a half a yard. But a nice play by Richie Mamie to come in from his linebacker spot and make the play from behind.
Tackled by number 35, Richie Mamie.
He was shooting the gap right as soon as the ball was snapped. He was coming. And maybe it was because they thought they were going to throw the ball, but a lot of times when linebackers shoot, they can stop a running back also because they're in the backfield.
Number 31, Chaz Call, did a good job of forcing the play back inside. Didn't give up any ground from his outside linebacker position. Handoff ice on 3rd and short. And he will be short of the first down by about the length of a football. All depends on the spot. He may have gotten a good spot. He may have it. He got a pretty good spot on that one. He may have the first down.
Well, they're going to have to
bring the sticks out.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring the sticks out.
If you got the binoculars up there, what do you think?
I think he's just barely short. But
you get the bifocals and the binoculars.
Well, yeah,
you better be right.
Yeah, but I didn't draw that line. I don't know whether it's straight or not.
Well, you got the first down.
Yeah. See, the line's not straight.
First down for the Crusaders.
Okay.
If I'd have drawn that line, I would have known.
You would have been right on the money.
That's right.
26.
Football's a funny shape every once in a while, too.
It's not round.
Take a look at it here. 1st and 10, 1:55 to go. 3rd quarter of play. There's the option down the line. Geary trying to get to the corner, and he's going to go there, but only after a couple of yards.
Around the right side.
And all of a sudden, the Crusaders really
knocked out of bounds by Grant Allen.
Seems like they want to go to that option series.
Well, yeah, they want to try to get outside. I mean, they've been running it into the line, and now they're looking to run it outside. The fake in the middle, and now the pitch to the man going around outside, and they close this off pretty well, but he's able to pick up a couple of yards. Good pursuit.
Grant Allen on the tackle. 2nd and 8. Claws a pass. Quick look to the outside for Lewis. He hauls it in. Great catch, and he's forced out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. He'll have another first down. Clock stops with 1:38. The Crusaders putting a nice drive together.
Well, they're running up the middle, running around the right side, passing to the left side. They're a little more diverse in their offense now, but what a great catch that is. If he doesn't catch that ball, you say, well, Benji threw it behind him and he didn't catch the football. That's just a great catch.
Pickup of 11.
You mentioned the defense that they played on that goal line stand was the defense they had against Steubenville Big Red. Oh, would they love to turn the clock back to the beginning of this game and come out the way they're playing here in the second half. Claws back to pass, looks down the sideline, overshoots the intended receiver, Lewis. I don't really think it was the intended receiver. He was just throwing that one away, but that's who will say he was looking for on that one.
Well, there could have been a little confusion there. Lewis pulled up, and maybe the play was for him to go deep. Benji was thrown to a spot. 2nd down 10. This has been a good drive, but oh, it's eaten up a lot of time.
1:31 to go. 3rd quarter play. Crusaders down 24-0. Claws rolls far side. Looks downfield for Lewis. That one behind him.
Pass goes incomplete to Danny Lewis.
It's a tough throw to throw on a dead run for anybody. Benji was running and trying to throw. He wasn't throwing it back across his body. He was throwing it in the direction he was running. But that's still a tough throw when you don't set and square your shoulders up to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 10 for the Crusaders. Ball at their own 39-yard line. Right smack on the middle of that one, so I don't think it would matter who drew it. Pitch, halfback option pass. They try to get it back to Claus, and do. He has a blocker out in front.
What a run.
Midfield, into the open field, still on his feet. One man to beat. He's in a foot race now with Roth at the 30-yard line. Look at Canella, the lineman, all the way down. Still on his feet. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown,
what
Central.
a run. Wow. You know what? I was just ready to say, 3rd down 10, this could be the ball game. If they don't score, don't keep the drive going, maybe it's over at 24-0 with 1:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. But all of a sudden now, Central scores. I don't want to say that this is a real close game. Watch this run.
Bracone here with the throw, and he almost falls down. The play would have ended right there. Claus also gets some great blocks up here from Tuttle and another lineman, and Bracone out in front. And then check out Cannella, the lineman, all the way down at the 20-yard line.
Exactly, and some good vision. Look at the tackles that he breaks.
Look at Cannella. He's outrunning Claus.
That's right. We're going to hand him the ball. Gets a little push there, and now he sees end zone, and he's in.
2-point conversion. Claus has it, looks to run it. Now he looks into the back of the end zone for Bracone. And thank you very much for the pass on the touchdown. And thank you very much on the 2-point conversion. So all of a sudden, 24-8. Football's played in 2 halves. First half, second half, and the Crusaders right now winning the second half as we take a look at the 2-point conversion.
Well, this looks like Bellaire and the way they run theirs. Roll out to the right. He looks like he's going to run with the football. Now he stops, looks, sees someone open in the back of the end zone. Here's the little pass. He really had 2 receivers back there wide open. All set up with a goal line stand.
Yep. 24-8. George, are you as stunned by the run? We talked about the left-handed touchdown pass as being a play of the week. How about this one for a play of the week?
Well, the thing we have to keep in mind is that there are 2 premier athletes in this game, and they are the leaders of their respective teams. You know, Vingia was injured during Legion baseball, and it's really taken him about half a season to get that leg back into real playing shape. And you are seeing now what this kid is capable of doing. He is capable of putting a team on his back and literally carrying it. That was just an absolutely remarkable play on the part of Vingia Claus with some outstanding downfield blocking, I might add.
Dave Tuttle, number 55, getting ready to kick off. He threw a big block on that touchdown run. And a big guy, whoa, did he get a hold of that one?
Oh,
what got into his all of a sudden? You make a big run like that, and everyone steps it up a notch.
I think it was all set up with the fact that they stopped them from inside the 10-yard line. They came out, they ran a good series, you know, all the way up the field to, what, about the 40-yard line. Set up that touchdown, and now maybe Central woke up. Let's see.
They stopped them at the 4-yard line. 10 plays, 96 yards, 323. Claus with an absolutely fantastic touchdown run. And then the 2-point conversion, 24-8. And, well, you know, I really think happened when they had to measure, and if you had drawn the line, they would have been about a football short. They got the first down, and they kept the drive alive. Handoff inside, and the Crusaders, a wall of Crusaders there, and they push them back.
Well, the Central fans finally have something to cheer about. They're getting excited
Roth,
now.
the ball carrier.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they could get 3 and out here.
That's going to be very difficult against this offense, but the Central defense rears up. We may have a ball game yet.
After that run by Claus, a number of dejected Bellaire Big Reds down on the field trying to gather themselves, not expecting that big play. You never know, that unexpected twist here may have crept into the offensive minds of the Big Reds. We'll have to wait and see. 2nd down and long, 2nd and 9. Davis to throw, looks downfield, and it is complete. Amarante, number 14, the first down completion at the 33-yard line.
Well, down the field and then over toward the sidelines. And again, the quarterback with a lot of time puts the ball right on the money.
15 seconds to go.
Pickup of 12.
In the quarter.
They're going to let it run out.
I think, yep, they're going to let it run out. Jose unclips the chin strap. It'll run out 24-8 after 3 quarters of play. And all of a sudden, a game that looked like it was getting out of hand has turned into a little bit of a ball game. The Crusaders, their spirits boosted after the long touchdown run on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard after 3 quarters of play, 24-8, Bellaire.
Motors open.
Welcome back to the WTOV 9 High School Football Game of the Week. Bellaire Big Reds, Steubenville Central, 24-8. Recap the scoring. First half, Bellaire did all of their scoring. First drive, 80-yard drive, 9 plays, 8-0. Taylor on the touchdown catch from Davis. He also had the 2-point conversion. Next touchdown in the second quarter, Mamie 1-yard touchdown run. Taylor on the 2-point conversion pass from Davis. That made it 16-0. Then Davis to Taylor again on the touchdown. and it was Kinder on the 2-point conversion. That made it 24-0. Then in the third quarter, with about a minute or so to go, Benji Claus on the long touchdown pass, halfback option pass from Bracone to Claus. Claus runs it in. Then Bracone catches the option pass on the 2-point conversion from Claus, and it's 24-8 as we begin the final 12 minutes of play. And some big plays in this game so far.
Central needs the ball back, and quickly.
Ben Taylor hauls it in. First down at the 45, still on his feet at midfield, still going. And he's into Crusader territory and down to about the 40-yard line. So big first down, about a 30-yard completion on the play from Davis to Taylor. Taylor has really turned in. It seems as if he is the main man offensively where Davis wants to get the ball to.
Well, this is just a little 10-yard pass. Look, right at the stake, 11-yard, and then he does another 17 on his own.
Nice move there as he gets away from Claus.
Good head fake.
Handoff, Mamie dances into the secondary. Bracone dives over a blocker. That was Bobby Roth to make the stop.
Tackled by number 51, Joe
Well,
Bracone.
Bellaire is trying to answer that touchdown, and Central's trying to stop him.
Central doesn't want to get in a situation where they have to stop him at the 5 and then go 95 yards back for another score.
They need a mistake. Bellaire hasn't made many.
Pick up a 6, it'll be 2nd and 4.
Turnovers have not been a factor in this ballgame. Second and about 4. Handoff to Roth. He'll have the first down and more.
Number 30, Roth, the ball carrier.
Paul Marook comes up with
tackled by Marook and Thorne. It'll be a Bellaire first down.
Fake of the behind-the-back pitch.
We had a fake. I was going to say the razzle-dazzle's gone away a little bit.
Well, I mean, Bellaire wants to score again, certainly, but they want to eat time off the clock. They've got a 16-point lead.
Well, right now that clock rolling, 10:45 to go, fourth quarter of play. Bellaire trying to remain unbeaten. Crusaders trying to avoid their second loss of the season. They need to make a comeback. They want to do that. Davis rolls right side, looks downfield, dances into the secondary, gets a block to the 5-yard line, and he's
Davis, the ball carrier, inside the 5-yard line.
Goal from the 4-yard line for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Good for another Bellaire
Just
first
when you
down.
think that you've got him covered as far as the receivers are concerned, he pulls the ball down and runs with it. And he's got some speed. Double fake in the backfield. Looks downfield. Sees an opening. Cuts back.
Help from Lawyer.
Looks like he wants to go to the end zone, but they'll bring him down at the 4.
Handoff, Mamie, touchdown Bellaire.
Touchdown Bellaire, Rich Mamie.
And there was no one around. Just a very, very fine job of blocking up front by that offensive line. We just haven't said enough about them tonight either. They do a great job protecting, and they do a good job blocking. Look at that. He's not touched until he's 2 yards deep in the end zone.
They'll go for 2, lead it 30-8. Mamie in motion. Davis rolls to the motion side of the field. Looks for Taylor. He has another 2-point conversion. So Taylor and Davis hook up again. And it's 32-8 with 10:15 to go in the final quarter of play.
Well, Bellaire answered the touchdown.
The Bellaire drive covered 80 yards.
This has been open on every 2-point conversion. Roll right, just lob it into the end zone. There's a man. They just flood that right side with so many receivers and running backs that it's almost impossible to cover everybody.
Well, Crusaders will get another chance to operate with the football, down 32-8. Want to remind everybody, coming up Sunday afternoon on WTOV9, a great lineup. Starts off with, well, actually it starts real early in the morning with the Bill Cowher Show, Pittsburgh Steelers head coach at 5:30. George Kellis will be up watching that, getting all the inside information on his beloved Steelers. That's at 5:30, and then George at noon on News 9 Sports Sunday with George Kellis. Call and talk about this game, talk about all your games this weekend. And a 7-play, 80-yard drive took 250 for the Bellaire Big Reds, and then it's an NFL doubleheader with the Steelers and the Browns both seeing action on WTOV9 as the kickoff stays inbounds. Geary picks it up, and he is in some trouble. All of a sudden, he has a lane. He's not in trouble. He's got a big return working across the 40-yard line all the way out to the 43. And what looked like it was going to be disastrous for Gary turns into a big return.
Well, he thought it was going to go out of bounds. I thought it was going to go out of bounds. And the ball just hit like one of John Neese's 9-iron shots. It just hit right there. And there he goes. All of a sudden, he's got a wall of blockers in front of him. And if he doesn't run into his own man and could have accelerated a little more there, he might have had a touchdown. But they've got great field position. They've got to try to answer again.
Trips to the near side. Claws back to pass. Getting some pressure. Gets a block. Steps up and looks down the middle. He has a man open. And he should be enough for the first down depending on the spot.
I'll give him his forward progress. It'll be a first down.
Tackled by
Number 85, Tom Clark on the reception. Claus bought himself some extra time rolling to his left after he set up on a straight drop.
48. Good for a Crusader first down.
So first down at the 47, 48. Central's got to score quickly.
9:35.
They're almost in a situation where they've got to score quickly and try an onside kick.
Back to pass again. Looks to the outside for Lewis. Has it at the 35-yard line. Actually caught it about the 38. Turned out to the 35.
Another first down.
Another
Great thing about that,
down.
if you're a Crusader fan, the clock stops as they move the chains, so they stop it with 9:18 as we take another look at it.
35.
Looks downfield. Throws a real good pass on the sideline, and
Pickup of 13.
the
Nice
man
from Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis made the move back towards the field. If he makes the move toward the sidelines, he maybe picks up more.
Claus back to pass again. Looks to the outside again for Lewis. Has him at about the 27-yard line. Close to another first down. I think he may be about a yard short.
That's exactly the same play.
All right, John, here you go. You've got to make the play here.
I've got to catch. I got great hands. Watch this. Give it to me, Benji. Here it is. I got it. I got it.
26.
I got it. Please don't hit me.
And you would do exactly what Danny Lewis did. Get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds. That's right.
Because you want to stop the clock. Crusaders back to pass again. Claus tripped up from behind. Great play.
Good
Coming
defensive
in, number
play.
78, Jason Myers, the captain,
By
the
Jason
senior,
Myers.
trips up Claus. And Claus had some running room, and that's another sack for a sack. Each sack recorded by either team. Kroger will donate $50 to the Salvation Army. And so far tonight, Salvation Army makes some cash.
Looks like Benji's going to get away from this pressure, but a lunge. And he just grabs a foot. Watch this. Great move. Great move.
Jason Myers, captain. Bellaire Big Reds makes the sack. Claus back to pass again. Quarterback draw. Looks to bounce it to the outside. And he'll gain a couple. Dives out to about the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 5. That's going to leave the Crusaders. 3rd and about 4 or 5 for a first down. Actually, it's going to be 4th down. 4th and 5. I lost track. And Benji heading back to the huddle. He's tired out there. He's been out on the field quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he's got to be a tired young man. But he's got to dig down. 4th and 5. Down 32-8.
Baroni checks in again with the play, and he'll split to the near side with Lewis. Tomochik and Vercone in the backfield. Claus the pass. Rolls near side, still looking, pump fake, still has it, looking for some blocks. He will be on his feet again. He gets a big block from Tomochik, and he's got another one.
Was that
Two Bellaire Big Reds laid out, and the Crusaders score. Touchdown, Benji Claus, as he stumbles and collapses into the end zone. And two of the biggest blocks you'll see on the same play delivered by the Crusaders.
Wow, I hope we have that. And Benji
needs some oxygen.
Yes, he does. What a run. I just said he got to dig down deep, and here he does it. Rolls out to his left. Looking. Has all the time. Can't find anyone open. Now watch this cutback. And watch and see if this block shows up. There's a good one.
Here's the second one. Tomochik right there.
Oh,
Big leader.
I mean, that's the pancake. Now another cutback right there. And a block. And he's into the end zone. And he just falls in. And he's still down.
And one of the players that received the block.
There's Benji. Benji's going to get a big hand from the Central fans. It's certainly deserved. I just said, you know, he's got to dig down. And boy, did he.
Number 5, Hutch Mcfarlane.
There's the fellow that got the deep leader, as you called it.
Hutch Mcfarlane.
Boy, did he get popped.
And the unfortunate thing for the Crusaders here on the extra point, 2-point conversion, is that Claus will have to come out of the game for at least one play. But it's fortunate because he has a touchdown, so you're in that situation. Hey, George.
Yes, Billy.
I'll tell you what. I won't have to get any highlights for the plays of the week other than the ones we're getting in this game.
Well, I would guesstimate that there's probably about 4,000, maybe 5,000 fans here tonight. They certainly got their money's worth. You know, we told you early in this ball game that Central would get its share here. Bellaire has played a good defensive football game. Claus has just made some incredible plays here in the second half. And to his credit, he is the one guy who has been juiced up from the beginning of this ball game, and he's kept trying to send a message throughout the game to his teammates, you know, let's keep after it. And he's had to make some big plays himself, and he certainly has turned in a Herculean effort here in the second half.
For the Crusaders.
Petrozzi in at quarterback for the 2-point conversion for the Crusaders. And he is going to roll and look in the end zone for Lawyer, and he can't hang it on. 2-point conversion is no good. So it's a 6-play drive, 58 yards and 3:04 for the touchdown. And Lisa Kick's still up here in the press box. And of course, Monday at 5, we will have the plays of the week on News 9 at 5. And I'm going to have to ask her for some extra time in the sports segment, I think, so we can get all these plays of the weekend. Lisa, what do you think? Yeah, she says that now. She says, okay, you can have the time, but come Monday, it's going to be a different story. We'll take a timeout. 32-14, Central trails Bellaire with 7:11 to go here in the fourth quarter.
WTOV.
Bellaire has scored 4 touchdowns in this game, gentlemen, and Central has scored 2. But yet, Bellaire still has an 18-point lead, which means Central needs 3 scores in 7 minutes to get back in this thing. The reason why Bellaire still has an 18-point lead, they have converted on all 4 2-point conversion efforts after the touchdown. You almost never see that in a football game. 4 2-point conversions in a row.
They have been unstoppable, and on the onside kick, they stopped the Crusaders as they recover. It was Roth that recovered number 30, the onside kick, and Bellaire will have great field position here with 7-11, but you almost have to do that.
Yeah, that's the danger of the onside kick. If it works for you, it's fine. If not, the other team's going to get absolutely magnificent field position, and that's the case here as Bellaire has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Now, do they get conservative? They're up by 3 scores, less than 7 minutes to go. Let's see.
Inside handoff to Roth. He bounces to the outside, and he'll go for a first down. Now, maybe a conservative play, but he turns it into a big one.
I was going to say, it's a pretty conservative play for that offense, but bang, it's a first down.
Well, Benji Claus had another big run as we take a look at the replay of Roth.
Well, he hits into the line, and there's nothing there. So let's just go outside where there's some running room, and that's what he does, and he gets beyond the stakes, and it's a first down.
1st and 10 ball.
Benji Claus, 9 carries, 84 yards for the Crusaders. A lot of that yardage coming on 2 big plays. Right now, 6:35, 32-14. The Crusaders need a big play defensively, need a turnover. Bellaire, they just want to keep marching the ball down the field. They haven't made any mistakes offensively tonight.
Same play, running off the right side. They like to run that right side.
Off the right side.
And that time he didn't pop it to the outside. He kept it in the hole, and he picks up about 3-4 yards.
Roth on the carry, and I want to remind everybody, coming up at the end of the game, we'll select our players of the game, and we'll let you know how many sacks for a sack we had tonight here in the game of the week, and how much money Kroger Food and Drug will be donating to the Salvation Army. So all of that coming up at the end of the ball game. George Kellis, I'm sure, will try and grab the winning coach at the end of the ball game. So a lot to look forward to here at the end of the game as the handoff goes to Roth again, this time stacked up in the backfield, loses a couple of yards on the play.
You know, with as many passes as Bellaire throws, if Central had been able to rush the passer, we might have been able to break the Kroger company tonight.
Short loss on the play.
That's true.
Second and 7.
That is true.
But it's pretty tough to put pressure on him. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you talk about the Bellaire Big Reds offense. I'll give you some stats on Benji Clausen a little bit tonight that are just astonishing. As Davis goes back to pass, looks down the middle, and he has Mamie down to about the 20-yard line. And he comes up with a first down, and Bellaire continues to march the ball with 5:08 to go.
Tony Cannella on the initial hit.
Take another look at it.
Straight drop this time. He's not rolling out, but look at the time. He puts a real nice pass right in the middle. And the middle's been open. It's been open since the first quarter. And now they're going to take a lot of time to run these plays. Play comes in late from the bench, and they come up slow. They've got an 18-point lead. Why not?
No rush. Mamie into the secondary, bounces to the outside at the 10-yard line before he is corralled and taken down after another first down. It'll be 1st and goal to go.
Carries the ball inside the
Well, there was a lot of running room up the middle that time, and he just found that big hole, got into the secondary, as Bill said, and cut it to the right side.
1st and goal.
Another first down, and it's 1st and goal at the 8. Watch, he just pops right through a nice little hole on a trap. Now he cuts it to the right side. Yeah, it was
Brian Sechrist on the block, came down on that trap and opened up the hole. Taylor to the near side, and Morani far side, and it's Roth on the carry, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bellaire.
Roth, the ball carrier, touchdown, Bellaire.
with such ease. With such ease.
On 1st and goal from the 8, he goes in.
Here he is. Big back, big hole.
Great line search.
And another touchdown.
Great blocking up front by the offensive line for Bellaire.
Timeout, Bellaire.
Opened huge holes, and we have a timeout down on the field on the Ohio Valley Hospital scoreboard. It's Bellaire on top, 38-14. George?
Well, envision this, fellas. Bellaire's averaging 39 points a game. If they make a 2-point conversion here, they could top that and score 40 points against a quality Catholic Central defense. A defense that was good enough to shut out Big Red here last week. That tells you all you need to know about the Bellaire offensive arsenal.
Well, as you said, so many weapons, so many ways to move the football, so many ways to get it in the end zone. I think we've seen them all tonight. You've seen them play more often. Have we seen all the weapons, or are there more hidden somewhere?
I think that's about it, but you know, it's a challenge for each team to come up with a stop against that offense for Bellaire, and a challenge for everybody in the Ohio Valley United Way Mall Mile Challenge, Tuesday, October 10th, from 2 to 4 at the Fort Steuben Mall. Pittsburgh Steeler Joel Steed will be there, and he will walk a mile. He'll be timed, and then everyone has a chance to beat that mark that he is set on the board, and you can donate some money to the United Way. I'm trying to raise some funds, and Joel Steed, come on out and meet one of the Pittsburgh Steelers and have a good time and actually get a little exercise.
Bomber will attempt the extra point.
And for the first time tonight, Bellaire lines up to attempt the extra point kicking style, but they call timeout. A little confusion. And
they only had 10 men out there.
The way they're going tonight might not hurt them.
Yeah, they only had 10 on the field, so had to call timeout.
While we have a chance, talking about Benji Claus, 235 yards total offense, 84 rushing, 61 on the touchdown catch, and then 90 yards passing. Not a bad night for Benji Claus. But you're still down 38-14. And then the one touchdown's a receiving touchdown, right. One touchdown's a rushing touchdown.
That's right. Did it both ways.
Mamie, 7 catches, 88 yards, 14 rushes for 59 yards.
Will attempt the extra point.
Big Red stats. Roth, 14 carries for 84. Davis, 20 of 32 for 233 on the evening. Extra point up, and it is good. So they make all their 2-point conversions, and they make the extra point conversion kicking style, and it's a 39-14 game.
Well, now they've scored, I think, every possible way except a field goal and a save. They've kicked it, they've run it, they've passed it. They are an offensive machine.
Bellaire drive covered 52 yards on 6 plays.
39-14 now, and George said that's their average, and so that they've gotten their average. That's a lot of points for a high school team to average 39 points a game.
And each team that steps up thinks we're going to be the team this week to knock them off and lower that average, but so far no one has been able to do it. George?
Keep in mind that Bellaire has never had a perfect 10-0 season, fellas. They still have to play Lindsley, you know they're good. Brook, you know they're good. Ironton, you know they're good. And Martins Ferry ain't bad. That's just a brutal schedule that this team so far has carved through and still has to play.
Yeah, but all those teams are saying, oh my goodness, we have to play Bellaire. That's the problem.
Week in, week out.
Will start 1st and 10 on their own 35.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a number of those teams play, and George at the beginning of the year went all the way back to the preview, said that this could be the best team in the Valley this year. And so far, through this point in the season, it's hard to argue with that point. They really look good. They look like they are cut above everybody else, at least this year at this point in the season. Now, things may change down the road, but so far, Bellaire looks to be the class of the OVAC for 95 so far. Claus back to pass, steps up in the pocket, gets some pressure, and the ball comes loose. They're going to call it an incomplete pass. Close to a sack for the Bellaire Big Reds, but they'll call it an incomplete pass.
His arm was in forward motion.
So just an incompleted pass, and had it been a fumble, Central recovered it anyway, but that stops the clock. Watch his arm.
Good call.
Yep.
2nd and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Plenty of time for Claus, looking for some running room. Now he looks downfield, and it is caught by Tom Clark, number 85 at the 49-yard line.
Number 85, Tom Clark.
Well, Benji threw that where no one else could get it except Clark. And he also gets out of bounds and stops the clock.
Pick up a 14.
Benji's got to be tied.
He's had a long night. He's been involved in just about every play of the game, offensively, defensively. Mom and Dad are going to have to pick him up an oxygen tank on the way home.
Sure.
Tomochik
Number 44,
for about
Mike
7 yards. Will
ball
bring up
carrier.
2nd down and 3 for the Crusaders. I would imagine
Tackled by
Benji will
Myers.
sleep well tonight.
Yes, sirree. I tell you, he has
Pick
been
up
an
a
inspiration to the team. They've been on their heels all night, and Benji has been the bright spot to lead them out of the doldrums, because they came out in the first quarter in doldrums.
2nd down and 4. 3:05 on the clock. It's turning. Quick pitch. And it's going to be a 1st down for the Crusaders on the carry. Number 22. Lekanudos. Joe Lekanudos on the carry. He's out across the 40 and has a 1st down. First play that he has carried the football tonight. Looked good. Some good speed bursting through the hole.
On the Bellaire 39. Pick up a 7.
.245 left in the game. Tomochik again.
Mike Tomochik,
about 4 yards.
Just a quick handoff into the middle, and just a quick opening play, trying to spring him loose and maybe catch Bellaire moving with the fake to the outside. Picked up pretty good yardage.
Officials timeout.
Officials timeout down on the field, trying to get the football back into the game.
So on the Bellaire 35.
This field really drained well. We were down on the field before the game, and I was really surprised that it was in absolutely perfect condition after all that rain yesterday.
Claus back to pass. Slips and gets rid of it, and he's lucky because it was an intercepted pass, and on the way back, but Claus ruled down as his knee touched down. And the Crusaders dodge a bullet there because that was going to be 7 going the other way.
Just as I said, the field's in great shape. He slips. I jinxed him.
Jeremy Lemley,
a loss of 8 on the play.
junior, 6'2", 170 pounds. All of a sudden, he had a gift.
You can see his knees down before he throws the football.
For the Crusaders.
Should never said anything about the field.
3rd and about 13.
They draw play.
Handoff.
Number 22, Joe Lukino.
And, of course, they'll go for it on 4th down.
Tackled by Lemley.
Lukino on the carry.
When you're down 25 with a minute and a half to go and it's 4th and 8, you go for it.
Clock moving, minute 30 to go in the game. 39-14, Bellaire on top of Steubenville Central here at Harding Stadium. Claus back to pass, sets up the backside screen, it goes incomplete. Bellaire Big Reds football going the other way. Our players of the game, an easy choice, I think, for the Crusaders, Benji Claus.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, there's a number of players for the Bellaire Big Reds, but the guy pulling the trigger on the offensive quarterback, Jose Davis, he was one of the guys up there. Ben Taylor, the receiver, Mamie and Roth, the running backs, the offensive line did a great job on defense. Who do you want to go with?
But I think we just have to give it to 2 quarterbacks.
We'll give it to 2 quarterbacks on a Saturday night at Harding Stadium.
It's got to be Jose.
Jose throws for over 230 yards, and George Kellis throws in the vote. And I'll tell you what, though, hey, you can pick anybody, but I think no one will argue with these selections. Benji Claus and Jose Davis. Jose Davis of Bellaire, and Benji Claus of Red Donnelly Scholarship. Players of the game for their respective teams, and 2 players that have been absolutely outstanding tonight as the flag is thrown, and we're going to have a delay of game against the Bellaire Big Reds.
Delay of game against Bellaire.
That'll take them back 5, but there's only a minute 15 to go in the ball game.
1st and 15 on the 33.
Now they'll call a timeout.
Timeout, Bellaire.
I'll ask you both, George and John, on this one. Bellaire, they continue to roll. Another big win in a very difficult week for that town and that high school, but they get the job done, and they have to feel good about themselves. Steubenville Central coming off a big win against Big Red, a little bit flat today in the first half. They play a much better second half. They have to face Indian Creek next week. Your Coach Farrar, what do you do with the Crusaders? Your Coach Magistro, what do you do with the Big Reds?
Well, let me answer on behalf of Steubenville Central. They're going to see something absolutely, completely different next week. They're going to see a big team. They're going to see a team that's going to play smash-mouth football, run right at them. So it's going to be a week of preparation completely different than they had this week.
George, what about Bellaire?
Next week's game might be one of the most dangerous games on their schedule because they know and they have been waiting for the opportunity to play Brook and Ironton. And everybody's been talking about those 2 games. But John Magistro cautions you cannot look past Lindsley. This is an excellent football team. Catholic Central will be the first ones to attest to that. And there you have a situation where you cannot find yourself looking past them, and that's the focus is the key next week for Bellaire.
Well, with a minute to go, we are ready to just about put the finishing touches on this one here at Harding Stadium, as Bellaire Big Reds are just going to take a knee and run out the clock with about 50 seconds to go. And Bellaire, as advertised, they could be the best team in the Valley this year. They came out and played like it tonight in the first half. They made no mistakes. They built a big lead. And before the Crusaders really got clicking, they had built such a big lead, it was just too tough to come back from.
Well, you know, I listened and watched on Sports Friday week after week and listened to everybody talk about Bellaire. I'd never seen them play before, and they certainly lived up to their billing. They are a really great football team at this point in the season, as you say, because things can happen in the second half of the year. And it's unbelievable that already we've got half the season over. But they have all the weapons.
Really down
If this defense gets to a point, and you know, Central did some running against them in the second half. If this defense gets to the point where they stop the run, look out. I think it's well worth watching this.
Final, Bellaire 39.
Well, it's a good team. It's Steubenville Central, a good team as well, and a team that has some more work to do. But two teams that I could realistically see in the playoffs doing some damage and going a long way. But first they have to get there, and a lot of work yet to come. And as we mentioned, at this point in the season, Bellaire looks as good as anybody around. And right now we're going to head down to the field with George Kellis as soon as he catches up with the coaches and talk a little bit about this game tonight. And he is going to try and catch up with one of them right now. And it looks like he's going to get Coach Magistro. And George, we'll go down to you on the field. George?
Okay, John Magistro, you told me that this was one of the toughest weeks, if not the toughest week of practice you've ever had. You had to be real pleased with the poise that your kids came out with tonight.
I'll tell you what, very poised. I can't tell you how tough these kids are, and I'm not talking about physically tough. The emotions this week were at an all-time low. Then they'd get up and they'd go down. These kids had their minds played with, not by Steubenville Central, but by some sickos back home. And I can't tell you what we had to overcome this week, and I'm so proud of them and our coaching staff and everybody in our community that pulled together. We had to pull together as a whole community thing.
I think that the only question that has to be asked about your team, and it's surfaced over the last 2 or 3 weeks, is can you guys in some big games play solid run defense? Are you working on that? Is that something that you guys are conscious of and know that you have to do down a stretch?
Well, I thought we did well tonight. There's a couple trick plays where I think we got lazy and whatever, got tired, whatever you want to blame it on, but we didn't execute, and it was 2 plays. And Vingia Claus now, I haven't seen anybody hold him down all year, so you know, give Benji what give him his due. But I thought we played the run real well tonight.
Good luck down the stretch.
Thank you.
Yeah, and they did play the run a lot better tonight than they did last week against Cambridge and the previous week against West Holmes. John, you hit the nail right on the head. If this team can stop the opponent's rushing attack, there's just no way that you're going to be able to deal with all the other elements that Bellaire throws at you.
Well, right now, let's wrap things up with the sacks for a sack. Kroger Food and Drug, 3 sacks tonight, $50 a sack. So as my math tells me, that's $150. Just about.
You got it. You got it.
$150 from Kroger to Salvation Army. And our players of the game, quickly one more time, it's Jose Davis of Bellaire and Benji Claus of Catholic Central, 2 of the finest quarterbacks in the Ohio Valley. And our final score, once again, 39-14. It's Bellaire on top of the Crusaders. It's been a busy week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody in the WTOV9 team. It's been a great week, and we will be back at it again next week. And until next time, we say so long.
WTOV9's Game of the Week featuring Bellaire and Steubenville Catholic Central. Brought to you in part by Ohio Valley Hospital.